Hey guys, Brian D here from Manila, Philippines again, and this lesson is for week 2, Introduction to Music Production at Coursera.org. And today I'm going to share with you how to perform some important editing tasks in my DAW of choice, Ableton Live. For editing in Live, most people will be working in the arrangement view versus the session view. Okay, so you want to know how to navigate through the arrangement view. So to zoom in, you want to move your cursor to the topmost bar. If your cursor changes into a hand with a magnifying glass, you can left click that, drag your mouse down to zoom in. Alright, to zoom out, you want to left click the same area, drag your mouse up. Okay, if you want to zoom in on a particular section of your track, you can left click on the grid, drag, use the plus sign, and it's going to zoom in that area, or the minus sign to zoom out of that area. Okay. In terms of markers over at Ableton Live, as you can see here on the second bar, I've got several markers, and in Ableton Live they're called locators. So for example, I want to place a marker at bar 135. I simply left click on the grid, right click on the bar, and add a locator, and it gives me an option to name that locator or rename it by right clicking, rename. Okay, let's move on to the grid. You want to be able to know how to snap onto the grid. So for example, let's look at these audio here. As you can see, if you don't see the crossfades, you can left click on the clip, right click, and show fades. Okay, and then you can adjust the fades accordingly, the fade in and the fade out. Okay, if you want to crossfade two elements, like here, you can just adjust the crossfade and the fade in and the fade out accordingly. Okay, let's move on to non-destructive editing. Let's say this clip right here, if you want to edit or to trim, you can move your cursor to the edge of the clip and simply drag. Okay, as you can see, I am not destroying the clip. Okay, and you can cut it, let's say in the middle right here, left click on the grid, and CTRL+E is the shortcut. As you can see, I've got two separate clips now, but all the same, they are the original clips, and I haven't destroyed anything. Okay, however, there is another way of destructive editing called merging. In Ableton Live, it's called consolidating. So for example, let's say we have this, and let's cut it here. Let's duplicate that and open it up here. Let's duplicate that. Okay, so for example, I've got several clips here that are unique, and I want to merge them into one clip. So what I want to do is I want to left click, drag, right click on the clip, and consolidate, and the shortcut is CTRL+J. Alright, and let's try that again. As you can see, Ableton will consolidate that file, and you come up with a very unique file, far from the original file that you had. Okay, so make sure you back up and save that that original file before you consolidate. Okay, and merge. Anyway, let's move on to naming and coloring. So for example, here at the tracks, you can always rename by right clicking and rename. Okay, and you also want to arrange your tracks by coloring it. So for example, I arranged it according to lead and melody, synth, audio effects, drums, and bass. So what you want to do is, for example, for this group of audio effects, you can left click the first one, hold shift, left click the last one, right click the group, and then change the color accordingly so that your tracks are grouped according to their function. And you can also color the sections of your track. For example, to select a certain section, you can hold on to the loop brace like here. Alright, right click on a clip and then change the color so that it can, signify that there is a change in this. For example, this is the breakdown, and this is the second verse or whatever, so you don't get lost in your track. Okay, alright, so hopefully you guys learned something from me today, and hope to see you guys soon.